Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting. Hello, this is Brad Weisman. You're listening to Real Estate and You. We are back in the studio, and today is a really special guest. We are not going to talk about real estate today. Well, we might at some point. I don't know. But we're not going to talk about real estate today. We are going to talk about an amazing person from Reading, Pennsylvania, who has this company. And you might see the hat that's on my table here. Her name is Stephanie Taormina. You have a company called Have Some Fun Today.
Yes, I do.
Are you having fun today is my first question.
Yes, I am.
She's like, until I got here, this is just terrible. Put me in this dark dungeon of a studio downstairs. But no, you have created a company since around 2014, which I have followed through the years via Facebook and Instagram and all those things. And it is just amazing as a bystander on the outside to watch what you have done and where it has gone.
Yeah.
And I just want to say congratulations. And keep up the great work. All right, end of podcast. No, just kidding. So no, let's just dive in here. This is not something that was new for you, this whole design passion.
True. I've been passionate about design since I was like 10 years old.
10 years old?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Building, like, were you making dresses or something?
I was making huts.
Huts?
In the woods.
I was not thinking that's where this was going. Huts? Like, what kind of huts?
Like with finding anything like things of wood, and we were very creative young children back in Shamokin, PA.
Shamokin? You're from Shamokin?
I am.
I didn't know you were from Shamokin. Isn't there a Shamokin Dam too?
But
that's another
it's
part.
A different place.
Yeah.
That's a nicer place.
What's funny is Shamokin is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I played a gig there one time.
Oh, really?
Yes, years ago when I was like 19 years old. I remember we didn't have GPS back then. 19, it's a long time ago.
Believe me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I remember going up there, had to use a map, and I saw Shamokin on the map, and I remember thinking, who lives here? Well, now, nothing against people from Shamokin, which you are.
Yes.
But it's in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played in the woods a lot.
Played in the woods a lot.
And my creativity was developed with Barbies.
Okay. And did the Barbies live in the huts?
No. We created Barbie worlds in our house, in our living room.
Barbie worlds. Got it. That's different.
That was my first foray into interior design. We would create our houses.
Yeah. So then how does it go from that to Have Some Fun Today? I mean, how does it go? That's a big leap.
Well, as a kid, you're using your imagination and, dolls and creating worlds with your dolls was something that a lot of
absolutely
boys and girls
absolutely, definitely.
I was always really good at art, and my mother had a hair salon, and she always had all these magazines in her hair salon.
Yes.
Looking at these magazines, you kind of escape into different worlds.
Yeah, so true.
So that was the initial things that were, hitting me as a young girl. And my grandmother used to collect antiques, and, both of my grandparents' homes, I remember really taking it in, the way it looked.
The style.
I didn't even know what I was doing then, but, I slowly developed, a passion for, interiors, but I didn't even know.
But it's funny because I don't know if every kid is thinking that.
No,
you were thinking that at a young age.
Yeah,
like most kids go, it's a couch, who cares, or it's a picture or whatever. But you're actually taking it all in. Yeah,
I was, but I didn't even realize it. And I remember being 10 or 11 and filling notebooks with drawings. And I really knew, and I even created the name of my company, and I didn't know.
How old are you then?
I was 12, 13.
Oh my gosh.
I knew I was going to either design, clothing or the homes that people lived in.
Yeah. And now, and around adults, I'm sure you said, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And then a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, whatever. You'll change your mind or you'll do something else. But you kept this pattern going. You kept thinking, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, well, I was always an artist. So, started with, the coloring stuff, and then drawing, and then always in art classes. I excelled. And I went through grade school and high school, and I was always into art.
Any clothing in there at all?
I would draw clothing.
You would draw clothing?
I would draw clothing.
Okay.
I never made any
Got it.
clothing. And I remember when I was in high school, still with the art, but I didn't think I was able to go to art school. I think I was really, I think a lot of times parents push people away from creative pursuits.
Absolutely.
And I did
so
good
true.
in school. So they kind of all pushed me towards academics, college.
Yep.
But I still got the Parsons brochure. Back in the days we had college brochures.
College brochures,
right?
Yep. There's no going online.
Yes. So I remember looking at the Parsons brochure and just kind of thinking, oh, I wish. And
Interesting.
then I went to Penn State. I don't know if you know that. And my junior year of Penn State.
Which is a good time.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
But my junior year, I decided to apply to this program in France where I could be an au pair.
Okay.
And again, before cell phones and all that stuff.
Amazing.
And I went to France for a summer by myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't speak French fluently, but I had a little French-English dictionary.
Oh my gosh. And that was before you could speak into the phone and it would tell you.
Yeah, no, there was none of that. It was really like this real adventure.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it was there that, I decided that when I graduated next year, I just didn't think that the subject matter I was studying was what I wanted to do. And I was like, God, I would really love to graduate Penn State and go to Parsons and become a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And I remember when I came home and I talked to my mom and dad about that, and they were supportive. So
Awesome.
I spent my whole senior year at Penn State developing a portfolio for Parsons.
Oh, get out of here.
And I then went to Parsons.
So
and
you,
I have a degree from there.
From there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
As well as Penn State. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
it's funny how you can try to, I don't want to say ignore. Yeah, maybe ignore it. You can try to ignore the passion that is behind you sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I do this today. I love entertainment, know, and I got out of entertainment. Got into real estate, but the entertainment is always there going like this, nagging at me going, oh, you should do something entertaining, So it's the same kind of thing. You knew what you wanted to do.
Right.
You did the college thing.
Right.
But that passion just came breaking through. There was nothing to stop it.
Yeah. It did. And I graduated Parsons, which is an amazing place to go to school if you are a creative person. Highly recommend Parsons.
What did you excel in there?
Well, I was a fashion design major.
Okay.
So it's a pretty intense program.
Right.
Back when I went there, it was amazing because all the best designers in the world actually came into our classrooms.
Wow. That's incredible.
I worked with Michael Kors.
Are you kidding me?
No, he was directly my design critique.
Wow.
So we were constantly being critiqued.
Yeah.
We would do work, it would get critiqued. So you really developed a really thick skin around things you created, and I kind of come from that.
Yeah. But then you did that for a while, and then you've been doing still interior decorating. Do you still do the interior decorating stuff for the interior design and things like that?
I don't do it for other people anymore. I did it for 25 years while I was raising my daughters before I started Have Some Fun Today. It was an amazing way for me to kind of use my talents, and I even helped you that one time.
Yes, you did. Oh, yeah, that's a story. I took a comforter. Well, I'm just going to quick tell the story because you remember, which is funny. So, yeah, Jess and I were going to, we had a comforter first. Did we go backwards maybe on that? We had the comforter first and then did the wall color, or is that normal?
I think that probably happens to a lot of people because the comforters, kind of
see it,
cool
you get it,
product, and you're like, oh, I love that.
Yeah. Not thinking about the wall color.
Right.
So it was like a grayish comforter. Gray, I found out, is impossible for a layman to figure out the color because there's gray pink, gray blue, gray red. There's so many shades of gray, right? Okay. So she came into my office, looked at the comforter, got the swatches out. This is Stephanie did it. She's looking at 3 colors and she goes, oh, it's either this, or this one. Which one do you like? I'm like, oh, I like that one. That's fine. Okay, that was it. You did it in 10 minutes. Jess and I almost got divorced over this thing. I mean, it was like we were going at it, so, but that just shows the talent, or that's that thing that you have that we just don't have.
It's like anyone, I'm jealous of people who can write code or who are amazing with math and accounting.
Exactly.
There are 2 things that I utilize in my business that I have clueless about.
Right, exactly.
And I wish I could do
delegate,
it.
Delegate,
exactly.
right? Exactly.
That's
Leverage everything.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So now what takes you from there into the have some fun today? I mean, that's a whole different, realm, a whole different thing.
Well, it's really funny. When I was doing the interior design and it was awesome. I loved doing it. I got to do so many wonderful projects. In the interim of all of that, I was also started to paint again. I'm a fine artist.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of merging both of those
together
aspects of what I do. And, along the way, my dad would often say to me, aside from have some fun today, he would say, Stephanie, why aren't you doing fashion anymore?
Interesting.
And it bothered him that I wasn't.
Isn't that interesting?
A fashion designer. And I'd be like, Dad, what I'm doing is still using my degree. I'm still creating things for people. But it always kind of bothered him.
Isn't it funny how parents know us sometimes more than we know us?
Yeah. And I mean, he's probably just like laughing up there. Because, the fact that
I told you to do fashion.
I am now like, the past 9 years have been intense.
Yeah.
You
worked really hard
to bring something.
Yeah. That was nothing. Exactly. Nothing to something.
Mila Kunis is wearing it in a commercial just
That's
yesterday,
amazing.
And I didn't even know about it.
Amazing.
So it's very surreal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my dad is like, I got you.
Yeah. So tell the story a little bit about your dad. So he used to say that, have some fun today, to everybody he met.
Yeah. My dad, I don't know if you've ever met him.
I did not.
He was
unfortunately.
A fantastic human. My dad was a coach, a high school coach.
Yeah.
And, back then when you were a Catholic school teacher, you coached everything that you could coach.
Yeah,
so
sure.
He was a super busy guy, always loved working with kids. And he was really into psychology. So I feel like my dad's success is partially due to his love of people and his understanding how people think and what impacts people. Yeah. And I don't know exactly when he started saying it, but somewhere when I was an adult and living back in this area, it just started happening, and we can't really pinpoint when.
Really?
But it was a long time ago, and it just became something that we kind of joked about because you couldn't be around my dad without leaving and him saying, have some fun today. I mean, it was even on his answering machine. It was at our company that my family owns. It's on the punch cards.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad embraced this phrase while he was alive.
It's amazing.
And then when he got sick, this was something that really impacted me. I spent the last 3 years of his life in hospital rooms, and he was in many hospitals. And I would remember walking out of his hospital room, saying goodnight to him, and he was really sick. And even in that physical state and emotional state, he still said to me, have some fun today.
Amazing. Yeah, sorry.
That's a tough
That
one.
is tough. And it's a I don't know if you want to call it a mantra or it is. It's also an affirmation.
Yeah.
And I think what it does too is what's interesting about a saying or a phrase, when he says it to you, there's no way you can't hear it.
Right.
So you hear it.
Yeah.
And then your brain goes, fun today. It's like, I swear that happens. It's a record. Then it kind of, and there's no way you can take that negative.
Yeah.
If somebody says have some fun today, you're like, oh, okay. That sounds like a good idea to me, right? So what an amazing thing. And what's amazing about it too is that now his legacy is everywhere.
Yeah,
that's the part that's just, talking about he has no idea the impact that he made by saying, follow your dream for one. And then for saying that phrase that you picked up on and put it on clothing, and now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, when at his funeral, over 1,000 people came to my dad's funeral.
Wow.
And, we had that celebration afterwards, and it was such a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It was really unbelievable. And I just remember the people coming up to me and telling me stories about how he impacted their life, the positive ways that he did that. And I remember, going home, and over the course of the next couple of months, I don't know if you've ever lost anyone really close to you, but, you definitely go through this few months at least of processing the loss. And I'm a very spiritual person. And I just remember, doing like a morning gratitude practice. And for me, when I create things, I see them. I get a vision of what it should be, whatever I'm working on, or, even when I was doing design for people, like I would meet with them, I would have the consultation, and I would say, just give me a couple of days. This is my process. I like process it, think about it, and then I see it.
And you see it.
I see it in my head. And it was that morning, months later, I saw a painting that I would make that had the words, "Have some fun today."
Wow.
And as soon as that happened, I saw visuals of the hat and many of the products that are still part of the brand today. And I called my mom and I said, "I'm going to start a brand." And, whenever I say anything, I do it.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people. And so she said, "Okay." And then here we went,
Wow.
So,
and here it is today.
Yeah.
And where it is. This is just amazing. Great story. Great story. Yeah, I'm just amazed at how it went from that to this. It's incredible. Very incredible. So that's awesome. So let's go from there. Now, is it worldwide? It's everywhere.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of looking at your car covered in road salt and winter grime, or not quite getting the results you would like to see from the car wash? Well, I've got just the solution for you. The Detail Shop, your go-to destination for premium auto detailing.
I mean, it's global. We ship globally. We're on the internet.
Yeah, right. So it's
global.
everywhere. Yeah, of course. As soon as it's on the internet, you're everywhere, right? You're
we
global.
haven't delivered to Mars or.
Well, that's next. It's not on the rover. Maybe we could get the rover to have some fun today on it. That'd be really good.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, and also your philosophies. There's interesting stuff I saw on your website, and one of them is the mission is making people smile. Very simple mission, but very, that means a lot, making people smile.
Yeah, it's really interesting for anybody who owns Have Some Fun Today and wears it.
Yep.
So
my wife has bags, she has shirts, she has all that stuff. I know Jessica Pritzman was going through some stuff and some tough times, and I loved that they all had that shirt on, that one picture.
Yeah.
That brought the whole spirit up. That could be the reason that she's doing well. It could be, like that helps everybody. It's energy, and it's good energy, and it's all around you.
That's exactly what it is. So when you're wearing the product, and I do this as an experiment sometimes, I'm in New York City and I have my baseball hat on.
Right.
For example, I'm walking down the street and, you're passing all kinds of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I will watch someone's eyes go to me in general and then go up to my hat, clearly reading it, come down to my eyes, smile, and we pass.
Interesting.
That is what Have Some Fun Today does.
That's an incredible experience, because you just affected somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
By wearing a hat.
Yes.
With words on it.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
I know.
That's pretty awesome. What if we all wore one?
I know.
I got one today, just so you know. Look at this puppy.
Well, you do
Look at this.
Brad. I want to hear what happens when you wear that.
I'm going to have to do that. It's going to be an experiment of mine.
If let's say you wear it out to happy hour or whatever.
I love that.
It's an energy exchange that makes people smile.
That's pretty cool. Pretty amazing. What do you think, Hugo? Pretty amazing? What do you think, Tony? Tony's here too. So we have social media. Hugo's here producing the show. I think they're just sitting here, just listening. They're both very quiet. You notice that? Very quiet. But I love it. So going back to that, what's next? Where do you go from here? Like, what products are you making next?
Well, this year we've had a lot of challenges.
Yes,
since
COVID
was quite an interesting experience for all of us.
Yep.
Especially.
Did you make the mask with it on?
No, I didn't.
I just thought maybe you didn't. Probably not a good thing to have some fun today put on there.
I don't know. I thought about doing it. We did not do that. Supply chain stuff was crazy.
True. Yeah.
So we really had to be creative.
Yeah.
So we actually changed our manufacturing, and we're not manufacturing in China anymore.
Good for you.
And we have moved things over to India and the U.S. We're doing a lot of things in the U.S. now. It's hard to do, but we're doing it.
Real quick question about that.
Sure.
Just because I don't know. Why does everybody go to China?
Because they can make things affordably, and then they can sell them at a lower price point. And,
Got it. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So it's about it's manufacturing.
Yeah, it's manufacturing.
Got it. That's what I thought.
And trying to make things as affordable for our consumers as possible.
But do you think if any Americans would be asked the question, hey, you're going to have to pay $5 more for it to not be made there? Do you think people do it, right?
Yeah, I think people would.
Yeah.
And the people who wouldn't, well, then that's
I'm proud of you for doing that, because I think there's it's not good that
Well, the other thing that we did was we decided that we wanted to be more sustainable. So
good for you.
Now the things that we're making are sustainable as much as we can.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
very limits
hard.
For everything.
Our canvas bags are recycled canvas.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we're only using natural materials.
Good.
And we're trying to produce in the United States as much as we can. So we do have some new things coming out that are made in the United States.
Well, the belt buckle you have on is that new or no?
Yeah, this is new, and it's going to be coming out in the next
so
few
wait,
weeks.
you have it before anybody else? What? How does that work?
Because I get to wear all the proto samples.
Yeah, she had to test it.
She acts like she's special.
Yeah.
Are you special?
I am very special.
That's all. Well, it's a cool belt buckle, because I know Tony recognized it right away. She's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about it.
That's very cool.
So we have a bunch of really beautiful products coming in this year. We're doing these beautiful leather products that are made in India. We are also doing a T-shirt that's going to be made in the U.S. We're excited about. We're also going to be doing some new recycled canvas bags that our local town has. I have so many people emailing me about these canvas wristlets we used to make that we sold out of when we were on QVC.
Gotcha.
That was a really popular item. And since then we kind of move on from a product, but then we'll bring it back if it's really popular and people are asking for it.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of cool things coming out. And, we also just did a really cool charity event. I
saw that on social media. I wasn't sure exactly, but I know that you were somewhere and had a bunch of people, and then I saw your painting in the background. And
so I'll quickly...
You can tell I don't read much. I just look at pictures.
Yeah.
You were somewhere and you had a picture. And
So I had these bags that I made a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And on a small portion of them, there was a flaw in the leather. And I would not sell something that was not perfect. And so I was trying to think of how to create something fun out of these that would be a sustainable act. So we took these bags and we reached out to a bunch of artists in New York City, and we asked each of them to create a work of art using the bag as a canvas.
Gosh, that's cool.
And then we had a party. We have a link actually it's going to be on our website. We're working on it right now. Where you can still bid on the bags, because we have 4 left that we want to raise some more money for. And so we had a party last week, and we donated all of the proceeds, and are going to be till the end of the month to a mental health organization.
Oh, that's great.
Called Vibrant.
Awesome.
And they're the people that run the suicide hotline.
That's awesome.
And they provide
what a great cause.
Great services all over the country.
Absolutely.
So we really want to do more of this kind of stuff. I mean, you're having fun. It's involving fashion and art, and it's doing something good, and it's also sustainable.
Love it.
So we're just so excited.
Win.
Yeah,
it's win all around.
That's so cool.
And also, it looked like you had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time. But I want to do them in other cities.
I love that idea.
I'd love to do one in Reading.
Yeah.
There's plenty of great artists here.
And we have great venues too to do stuff. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
That's something we just did recently.
So are you still, before we end, are you still is it just you? I mean, you have other people helping you design stuff. I mean, how does that work?
I'm the designer.
You're the designer. So
I'm
you're
the designer.
designing.
I'm the creative director.
Got it.
I do all the creative vision stuff. But my partner, Jay Schweid, has been helping me tremendously.
Gotcha.
He's kind of, my director of operations.
Gotcha.
And then I have a lot of people who, we have a marketing team out of Florida, and I have a PR team out of New York. And
good.
So we have entities that are helping this grow.
It's awesome. Very cool. So I've been working on my own brand. So I just wanted to see what you think of what you think of this. It's really original, and I just wanted to see what you think. Okay. So it's have some more fun today. Do you like it?
Yeah,
Do you like that?
I like that.
I mean, it took a lot of time.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it took a lot of time.
I might have to steal your idea.
And I drew this part myself.
I might have to just take a picture of that and just copy it.
So this is going to be out on T-shirts soon, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not used to doing that kind of work, but I thought I would try something new, you know.
Might be a trademark infringement.
You think so?
I hope you have a good lawyer.
That's right. Darn it. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you
so much. What great stories, what great times. I love where you're going with things. I just can't wait to see where it goes next and who's going to wear the shirt next.
Yeah,
how about like a president or something like that? Get a president or somebody out there, or like John Travolta or somebody like that. Has he worn it yet?
No, not John Travolta. No.
Anybody? Trying to think who else would have worn it. Well, I saw a bunch of people. Halle Berry. She wears it all the time.
Halle Berry's herself and her husband has worn it too.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times in there. That's amazing. Yeah. Keep up the great work. Thanks for coming in today. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Brad.
And that's it. There we go. Stephanie Taormina. That was amazing. Have some fun today, by the way. And look at this fancy hat I have here. I'll have to wear this and see if I put smiles on people's faces, which I think I will. Hopefully. And also my creation too, which we're going to have to use that. All right, that's about it. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.